Hey, what's up? This is Cartier, and this is becoming a $50,000 a month futures trader. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about this hilarity here. So, I probably will do an episode on this better another day. But anytime like you're dealing with trying to be a pro trader and get better, right? You got to add all these extra things. Like some people go to the gym before they trade, some people go after, some people eat like a certain like high protein breakfast, but a lot of traders believe in rules. And so I'm talking to AI. I gave him basically like 30 plus days of my journals because I haven't been journaling consistent at all, but now I am. So I gave AI the journals, and this is what it said to me. And I only noticed this today, even though I was talking to it yesterday about my journals. So for those of you who are listening to this as a podcast versus, being on YouTube, cool. So it says, one thing I noticed from reading almost a month of your journals, you almost never curse at the market. You curse at your own execution. That tells me your rule book shouldn't teach analysis. It should protect you from the habits you already know are expensive. That's where your edge is. And so I'm dying laughing because, like, I didn't even notice that, right? Like, I have not gone back to read, 40 plus journal entries. But I probably should, though, because I would probably find other things that I noticed. So, we're going to go through my rules. And I want to share this with you because rules are traditional. And they're traditional in the sense of, like, like a playbook, right? Like, enter the trade here. Here's your A plus setup. You know, um, practice proper risk management. Like, it's kind of like those things. And I realized for me, and this was with AI, like reading my journals, that like I didn't want those type of rules. Like I wanted the rules that really pertain to me. And I will say, I wanted them written in a way that would really be like, okay, shit, let me get it together. So, before we get into the rules, I want you guys to just see kind of like the trader's prayer that I came up with, because I also think that's super important. Not like from a religious thing, but just y'all will understand it, and not on this call. I'm not on this one. I'm gonna space it out. I can't give it all, but I did write a trader's prayer. I shouldn't call it a prayer. Maybe a trader's hymn is better because prayer feels like religious, where it's more so just like it's better than a mantra. It's better than affirmation. Like you are affirming, but we'll get into that later. But anyways, so let's go to this. So I'm talking to AI here. And so my journal, so he was like comparing me to y'all, basically. And I'm like, I froze. I didn't trust the plan. I married the trade. I wasn't prepared. I was applying for jobs instead of marking my chart. Like, I'm really, again, super detailed because when you're distracted, you gotta own it, right? If you look in your journal and every morning you're like, dang, I was distracted. I was like scrolling Instagram. Dang, I was distracted. Like, my mom got on my nerves and she was pissing me off. Then you're able to go, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't talk to people from 8 to 10 a.m. Like maybe that's what's changing my edge, is that I'm interacting with people who tend to bring me some type of chaos. Or maybe you are the chaos and you're like, dang, instead of me actually putting time into having a proper morning and being prepared, I'm over here scrolling some shit that I probably also scrolled last night. And I mean, let's be honest, that the continuation scroll be so bad. But anyways, so oh yeah, so the one that stood out was the L isn't in the negative 100 ticks. The L is leaving money on the table when there was no caution sign. Again, the more data, the more confidence you are able to build as a trader. Another really good line was, when will you trust your system? And this was super early. A lot of my thorough journals, like not thorough, a lot of my kind of 1, 2, 3 liners was this. It was like real statements like, what is wrong with you? You know this is wrong. This is that. You know, kind of like when your teacher back in the day would put like D minus, and it'd be like, you're better than this. Why are you acting this way? And you're like, damn. Like, you know, it's not like, oh, go back and study through here. And if you want extra grade, you know, it's not one of them teachers. It's the teacher that's had enough of your shit, and they just be like, hey, you know, you should have studied. What the hell were you doing last night? And you're like, damn, like it's bad enough I got the D minus. Like, you didn't have to put that. You didn't have to put that there as well. But anyway, so let's go through these rules and how they're written. Let's go. All right, so number 1. Don't marry the damn trade. You can always get back in. Actually, you can put a little space. I should have had this where it was like a, what do they call it? Like a slideshow. So we'll try to, I mean, obviously, I ain't gonna be able to do that now. But this is a huge one. And so these are not listed in area of like order of importance. This is just, hey, this is the biggest one. Marrying, it's not even marrying. I'm probably gonna edit this because I like things like if your mom said like to you like you're my favorite kid, you probably be like, okay, dang mom, like I love you. Like you would just feel like so much joy, so much appreciation to have that type of compliment. Me on the other hand, where I am today, I would be looking at her, I would say thank you, but something wouldn't sit right with me. Like I want to know why you said that. Like what did you calculate for me? And yes, I am analytical, but like what did you calculate to arrive to this? And thirdly, like how long have you know, like I would need so much data. I wouldn't be able to be okay with it because it's worded so generically. That's why. If she had said instead like, you know what, you know, you're the kid that I can count on anytime that I can't figure something out. You're the kid that will drop their, you know, plans to ensure like my safety is first, and like you always make sure when I'm sick, like that sounds way different. You know, I don't even need to hear that I'm the favorite. It's just like you're noticing that I really love you as my parent. And I don't need to hear that I'm your favorite. It's like you're just you're like really throwing it back to me like, hey, it's not going unnoticed that like you really are devoted and honoring me as your parent. That's totally different than like, you're my favorite kid. So that's why I like, for me right now in this era that I'm in, things have to be worded in a way so when I read it, I'm not like, what does that even mean? So it's not really don't marry the trade, it's don't marry the bias. Especially in Trump's market, I mean, the candle on NQ, I mean, it dropped 200 points in like 30, 40 seconds. Now, unfortunately, with that type of trade, like, you didn't get no notice. Like, you just got fucked. Like, you hope you had a stop loss and you hope that it was honored. Because at that moment, you were going to be liquidity and everyone got shot in that moment. So, it's really don't marry the bias. It is okay that it looked like it was bullish and then you saw one small little wick and you was like, oh shit. And if that was the caution and your gut felt the caution, that was the moment to get out. You can sit it out or to just hit that little reverse and go the other way. You know what I mean? But obviously 9 out of 10, like, just sit that shit out. So, number 2. Oops. Stop freezing. Now, I noticed on one of the Twitter videos of the girl, as that candle was happening yesterday, she was like, what the hell? What's happening? What's happening? And from her face, now, I don't know what her hands were doing, but from her face, she froze. She was, like, paralyzed. She couldn't understand how she was up money, and then all of a sudden the market dropped, and she was just like, holy crap. And so, oh, you know what? I need to write this. Let me write this little note here. Because I also want to talk to y'all about Michael Phelps. And I hope I'm spelling this right. I don't want to disrespect him. I think it's that. Anyways, yeah. So she froze. And that happens a lot to me. When I see extreme volatility in the moment, knowing that we are in a war, knowing that Trump is going to tweet something, Elon going to fight with Trump, whatever it is, it's like you got to be able to go, oh shit, and like get out. I mean, unless you going in the right direction, which 9 out of 10, most of us usually aren't. That's the whole point of it. It's like to grab your money. It's like a money grab. But anyways, number 3, when will you trust your system? This was because I used AI to help me with my plan, and I at that time I was completely ignoring it. Um, 5, no confirmation, no trade. I don't think this one's mine. Now, mind you, they made these rules based off of my journal, but I don't think this is mine. Like, I wouldn't word it like that. Pick a damn system is, oh, I missed that one. Pick a damn system. Yeah, I wouldn't word it like that either. I did not read these, so I hope these are like, I hope these are not all like things I wouldn't say. Price is trying to steal stops. Figure out whose liquidity is next before you click buy or sell. Oh, so this is more like an ICT thing, right? Are we on the buy side liquidity? Are we going for the sell side liquidity? So it's just being aware of that direction. 7, don't chase the perfect entry. Being early by 1 point is cheaper than missing 40. So I've been tracking when to get in. I don't know if you guys focus on like premium discount zones. Sometimes like the other day, I caught the hell out of it. It was at 97. I think it was at 40.97. No, the low was 40.94, and I caught 40.97. That's how like precise I was. And then that thing proceeded to run back up to like 114. It was a beautiful trade yesterday. Clean, intuition, nudge, clairvoyant, plan, everything. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better faith-based like preparation. Like, it just was, it was so beautiful. Number 8, wicks earn signal. This is super hard because NQ is not everything else. And so NQ will make you think, like, NQ will drop a long wick and then run the other way for 500 points. Like, it's bad. So some tickers that I also am using, like the metals and stuff, it's like sometimes it's just a wick. It's gonna wick 4 points and it's gonna go the other way, and it doesn't mean, it's gonna continue the direction you thought. But so it's like, don't get freaked out by that. And number 9, which we just talked about, MGC is an NQ. And that's a really good point for those of you who are new to trading, or for those of you who aren't new. Like, it's just a reminder, like, NQ is not metals, it's not oil, it's not Tesla. Like, they all have their own personalities, which is why a lot of traders will only focus on like 1 or 2 tickers and just like super learn everything about it, study the hell out of it, because you want to feel confident in your analysis, and you can't feel confident if you think it moves like something else, and it absolutely doesn't. If you can't manage the trade, don't take the trade. That's not how I would say that, but now it's not about managing the trade. And this is also, your rules, they can change as you grow as a trader. Some of these rules in here, I'm like, I have no connection to. Because this is how I was performing in June, right? This is probably like June 4th, June 11th. I've changed so much in how I trade now. Some of these rules, I'm like, right? Like, I think it's like 12 or 15. Like, this really could be 5, if we're being honest. Because some of these, I'm like, let's see, 11. Market orders put your emotions in control. Oh, yes, this is really bad. When you take market, especially if you're doing prop firms, if you don't have stop loss, which most of them don't when you do market, you're screwed. Like, I don't even think your ATM works when you do market. Like, nothing works. There's no protection, which is how I got smacked for negative $1,000 on NQ the other day, which we will talk about in the update of where I am. But yeah, whew, that's a good one. Limit orders, ATM, move on. If premium discount moves, stop forcing yesterday's idea, rebuild the trade. Yep, I agree. Don't try to be a hero. I don't know what that means. Cut it, reset, re-enter if the setup comes back. I think the rule with this one, I'd rather it just be, did it change? Then re-enter if setup comes back. Because I think one time I missed the entry for something, and I remember when it came back to that same level, it did the same exact thing. So it was like I could have wrote it up to 15 points. It would have fell back exactly where the entry was, and I could have wrote it up, the next 10, right? Because it doesn't always go back up. Sometimes you get those higher, those lower highs, and then higher lows or whatever. So I think that's what I would like for this one. Number 14. I know I haven't been doing them in order, so my bad. The market, not in order, but I haven't been saying the number. The market doesn't owe you your entry. Oh, I like that one. That one is, if you miss it, go to plan B. Don't invent plan C. I don't even be having a plan B, if I'm being honest. And that's what I want to work on tomorrow. I don't, this is kind of what I want to talk about with Michael Phelps. I was watching, I think he did an interview, but they kind of spliced it up to make it a motivational kind of little 8-minute video. But yeah, it's like, what is the move? Like, if plan A is this and then don't come or something happened, or in my case, right? Like sometimes you want it to be the discount zone, and then you ride it back to premium. And sometimes premium comes first, but you were so focused on the discount, right? Or you were so focused on the short, you missed like the long. And that happened to me last week, where I think it was at 40.60, and that bitch ran to 41.20. I was so focused on the short that I didn't even go, oh wait, like write it up. Like right now, it is nowhere in sight that it is short. And so this is why I say, like, if you don't write your rule the way you think, because in my mind, I needed to say that, like, just because it's already ran 40 points doesn't mean it's not still bullish. Like, that's a rule to me. Because it's like, get out of your mind. Yeah, it did just run 40 points. It doesn't mean it's not going to get exhausted. But guess what? It could run another 25 points. Why would you wait for the short and miss 25 points? Why not just get in? So I got to put that as a rule too. 16, 15, build the playbook. Stop leaving good ideas burning ChatGPT. So what this really is about, I will have even with the rules, I will talk, we will plan, we will figure out. It stays in ChatGPT. It never moves over to Google Sheets. Google Docs. It never moves over to Apple Notes. It literally just lives there. And it was like, well, why did you put all that time in to never, to never use it? So, not a necessity in the rules, but cool. I was gonna say it can't be more rules. But yeah, so those are my rules. And like I said, it does need to be reduced. I don't need all these rules. Some of these rules are, it's fear. And you don't want to keep reminding yourself of your past. There should be some cautionary things, but there's some things that, like, you've learned from, you got burnt, you understand it. You don't need to hear, like, and don't be a scary ass motherfucker. You don't need to see that as a rule when it's like, you've already learned, you built up the confidence, you've done more data, you've done more reps, like, you got a real system now. You don't always have to have rules that keep you stuck to the inexperienced version of you as a trader. So here's my 15. I'll do a video probably later this year, maybe like December, January-ish, and we'll see what rules actually stayed and what rules are now, because as I grow as a trader, obviously I'm not gonna have these rules. A lot of these things, like the distractions and all of that, won't be a thing. So it'll be interesting to see, like, what will my rules be in 6 months. But anyway, so the next video, in the next episode, we will talk about, did I pass the eval? What happened? Did I try my funded futures? And obviously I won't be sick, so we will be able to turn the camera back on. But I appreciate you for watching. Like and subscribe. You know, it's so funny that we still have to say that because people don't naturally just do it. And I'm guilty of it, but it's just funny that we still have to say that. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.